always insisted that at age 3, I was too young to remember, that someone must have told me. Mama, to this day, the scene swirls in my mind. I was sprawled on the back seat when the sound of men shouting and water splashing jolted me out of sleep. We were in water. Darkness covered us. Shadowy men surrounded the car, grunting, pushing. The water was so vast, I couldn't tell where the sky ended and where the sea began. Somehow, I knew to be quiet as you hunched over, twisting and wrestling with the steering wheel. Right, left, like the windshield wipers. I didn't understand how you ended up in the driver's seat and why Dada was slumped beside you, never to get up again. The men pushed until the car turned around and we faced the sand. Silhouettes of coconut trees rising to meet us. Then we were no longer rocking in water, but on the steady sand. That's when you crumpled onto Dada, shaking him, telling him to wake up, the scream ripping from inside me. I don't know how, but you got us home. You got us through the funeral. You got me through life. Because of you, I never felt the urge to dive under a blanket and remain there forever. You see, Mama, you are my safety. Yes, I think of the Adinkra symbols, now more than ever. Do you remember when I came home from university after skipping Christmas and Easter? You pointed to the Sankofa swan symbol hanging on the wall and said, "Why do you think she arches her neck all the way back to pick up the eggs she laid and left behind?" That's because she realized it's a source of future life, the continuation of she. She doesn't fly forward while looking back like foreigners think. No, Sankofa. It simply means return to take it. Her feet are grounded for a reason. Never forget where you come from, or you will be lost. I used to snort and roll my eyes, but how well I understand, now that an ocean separates me from home. Oh, to be the Sankofa swan, reach over my back and pick up what I left behind. I live for that day. Your daughter, always, Akria, also known as Olivia. My hands tremble. I brush down my grey skirt suit. Breathe, I tell myself. I pick up my purse and sling it over my shoulder, car keys in hand. It's time to face the judge. Part 1. Esene Tekrama. The Teeth and the Tongue. 1995. You could say I entered America while living in Senegal, by way of my American friends. One evening, in a house near the sea, filled with the smell of salt, flowers, alcohol, perfume, tobacco breath, and pheromones, Americans had crossed my path, but never this many in one space. Olga's house boomed with their loud conversations. They circulated, fixed smiles on their faces, clutching wine glasses, bending over to reach for crackers and cheese laid out on the wicker table in the center of the room. They didn't sit. They didn't break into merengue, despite the Congolese soukous music thumping in the background. At 21, I was a fresh university graduate. Everyone else was above 30 and married. I was the only African, one of 3 blacks. The other 2 were a couple whose masculine half was laughing louder than anyone else. Olga had introduced him to me as Len George, or Leonard George, a man with a smile so broad his teeth seemed to begin at one ear and end at the other, strong and white. His wife, an oak-colored woman with green eyes and cotton-ball blonde afro, formed part of a clump of people complaining about Senegal. "Can you believe it? The houseboy was playing with my son's toy car." This was delivered with round-eyed indignation by a blonde. A collective "No" arose from the group. They spurred one another on. "They're so unbelievably lazy." "And the weather. Talk about the heat." "I know. And then suddenly it gets cold and there's no way to keep warm." "No heat when it's cold, no AC when it's..."